This is Doug Payne here, and I'm doing the course overview for the Plantation Field International Horse Trials, part of the Pro Tour series, and this is probably one of the most beautiful venues throughout the country. As you can see, we're going to have a beautiful flyover here. You can see the dressage arenas down on your right, stabling down the hill, heading back down here to the start box and out onto the first fence. I think this course is certainly going to be challenging for all of our riders here this weekend. Our first couple fences beautifully presented, and in the end I think the riders are going to be heading out of the box looking to instill some confidence in their horses. You want and ideally, right, your first couple fences that the horses really get their blood flowing and sort of get into the game, so that you have them well prepared for the upcoming challenges. First two fences, not a whole lot to them. This is a third jump, and this I would say is the first big challenge, and it could catch you out if you're not paying attention. As you can see, it's a vertical face, difficult to tell except for in this shot here. That hill is quite steep, and so I think you're gonna have to come in with a good balance. Probably not going to win the competition there. You might as well take a second or two extra to make sure your horse is well balanced as you head down to that. Coming up the hill, very inviting, but certainly a tall, big effort there at number 4. And back out onto the galloping portion of the course here. We've got, as you can see in the distance up there, we've got a nice table, and we've got then to one of the most intimidating rider fences for this course. We've got an open oxer which spreads right across a massive ditch, and as we come up to it, you'll see it doesn't look like a whole lot, but wait for this next shot. And as we pan across it, as you can see here, just a massive ditch, nice airy open oxer. The horses actually will jump this very, very well, but it's again coming off a turn. It's going to be something that you're going to really have to keep power and keep pressing them at it as you come across that jump. Landing here, getting a nice long gallop. The challenge on this course, and it's interesting in that the competition runs in reverse order. The last top handful of riders, the very last horse to set out on this course will be the winner or the leading horse leading up to cross country. So there's certainly some pressure, a little added pressure to make sure you make the time, and you want to make good use of those galloping opportunities that you have. Coming up here, this is a coffin jump. This, unlike everything we've seen so far, is going to be a challenge in that it's also a bit shorter. In walking the course this morning, it's a 1 stride to the ditch and then 2 strides out to that skinny little wedge there. And it's going to require the horses to really get back in a good balance and figure out exactly where they need to be for the riders. This is a water jump. We've got a really, I think a very inviting first fence straight across, and a little bit difficult to see in this particular view, but that is a narrow little scalloped out portion in the brush on the C element there. And but I would expect most people would go the direct route here. The long route is going to take you around that tree, and we might be able to see it here from this view as we pan across the water jump. The direct route comes straight across the screen. The longer route would actually wrap around that tree, and there's a little scalloped brush on the other side. Again, a good challenge, but I tell you, the water jump that will be coming up again, we've got 2 water jumps on this course, will present a little bit larger challenge for these riders, so it's great to get their feet wet early. Again, back on the track here, galloping along, we've got a few, I think we've got 1 or 2 just sort of open galloping fences. Nothing really technical about it. You're looking at this portion of the course to let your horse sort of settle in and just remain in a good rhythm. You would do as little as you can to sort of alter their stride or anything coming up to these fences. You want this just to come right out of rhythm. This, I would say, coming up here, 2 corners, scalloped brush. I think this is probably the largest challenge that these horses are going to see on this course. The jumpable portion is very narrow. You've got the first element here. It's a bending 3-stride line to the second. Jumping the first, you have no idea what's on the backside. So these horses are going to have to jump in and be really in tune for what the riders have in store. And the good ones will make it look easy. And I'm afraid that a number of the others might make that look a bit more challenging. We've got a great shot here, just cruising along the road, and again, nice open galloping fence. Do your best not to mess with them too much, and you're looking here to see if you can't catch up a little time that may have been wasted. Not necessarily wasted, but taken on some of those more challenging combinations that we had earlier. We've got an angled brush here. Again, after a long gallop, there's a few horses that might just sort of check out and may end up missing that second one because, again, it's a very good test after that long gallop. Make sure your horse is listening to you, you're able to bring them back and keep them on a line. We've got again, another rider fence, I think, that's intimidating, this angled bridge over this ditch, and the horses really won't probably bat an eye at it, but it certainly is one of those you want to make sure you get there on a good stride and keep coming at it. And again, now we sort of head back up the hill, wrapping around. We've got another just sort of square table here. And at this point in the game, you've got a pretty good feel of how your horse is going, and you may, if totally on point, I think you're going to head the direct route in this next combination. If anything earlier in the course had been a little bit tricky or wiggly, I think you'd consider doing the longer route. As you can see, the small little house there, that's our direct, and the drop down would be your alternate line. This is our direct, which is, again, a beautiful foundation. We're jumping into it. Again, a drop on the landing. Make sure you don't get ahead there, and you want to make sure, again, that your horse is well packaged together and in a good balance so that he can have a moment there to figure out what's being asked. Again, the longer route's going to send you a little wide, and we can see a great shot here coming up the hill. Not a whole lot of time to see the B element there, but again, the good horses will make this look like nothing. And again, off we go, back onto a big galloping stretch. We've got a table here. Interestingly, it's not very thick on top, but it's very nice in that they do have a little roof here. Some horses actually might duck at that, and so with the greener horses, I'd think about really maybe taking an extra moment there to make sure I got there exactly right. And our last fence on the course will be even more challenging than that. These two. What are these stumps? Look absolutely narrow. I mean, you walk up and there is only sort of 2 feet or so that you can sort of manage to fit yourself through. Again, you've got to make sure you get dead straight to it. The great thing is that throughout this entire course, it's a bit of a theme that you've got a longer gallop and then turn to some sort of accuracy question. The good horses, again, are going to come around here, see the 2 scallop brushes, and shouldn't have any trouble whatsoever. It is a point in the course where they may start to get a bit tired. So if you end up after that long pill feeling like they're a little bit dead off your leg or ignoring your hand, you're going to have to take a little extra moment to make sure it's right. We've got our water jump here. Jump in. We've got, I think, more or less, you're probably going to see 3 strides to 3 strides to 1. It's a log down, that little stair-stepped jump, 3 strides up to the bank, and then 1 stride to the last element. You very well may see horses put 4 in here. I think the striding is a little less important in this particular moment than it is that you get there in a very good balance with a lot of energy, so that regardless what happens and regardless how they read it, you're in good shape. After your water jump, heading on, we're sort of heading towards the home stretch. Oftentimes, I think at this point, you're probably going to be a little bit back on the clock, so you're looking to make up some time. And again, if you've got a horse that ducks, this becomes a bigger problem. Luckily, we had a little introduction earlier so that it wouldn't be the first time they had jumped through something with a roof on it. But again, if you're looking to make up time, you're going to have to take a shot at the last there. But again, just an absolutely gorgeous course, and you can see in this shot, absolutely beautiful across the water jump here. And I hope you all can join us on Sunday. And I've got to thank also Michael Etherington-Smith for presenting such a beautiful course for all of these horses and riders to navigate on Sunday, and of course Alec Thayer and Jamie Reese for all of the drone footage, because I think without it, it's very, very difficult to give a feel for what's actually being asked of these horses and riders, and I think it's a unique perspective that hopefully we can see more and more in the future.